Hi Claire, it's Richard, and hi Andrew. I just wanted to record a message to you because sometimes it's just easier than typing it out, you know. So, look, on the Extinction Rebellion group, right, has got on its main title photograph a photo of the protesters from Huddersfield outside Syngenta. So, they're actually opposed to Syngenta, right? Because it's a chemical factory. And I'm kind of like happy about that photograph. I did notice it, but I was kind of like busy thinking about other stuff. And then I've just realised, because I've been doing lots of study, not only about Castle Hill because of the Castle Hill petitions and the development on Castle Hill, I've also ended up studying the wider extensive area around and that Warrior's Tomb place that people talked about. And because I have travelled England and I know a lot about other ancient sites, and I've been interested in a lot of ancient sites, and Old Oswestry, which recently, Old Oswestry has had a lot of trouble with planning and objecting to planning, just like Maiden Castle. You know, they've had to do a lot to oppose planning there and building, which they've succeeded to oppose it. That Warrior's Burial Mound, it is hill fort size and dimensions. There's no doubt about it, and I don't think Varley wanted to properly accredit it for being a hill fort for certain reasons that I go into in my evidence. Now, it is aligned and shaped just like Old Oswestry, and it can't be denied that it's not a coincidence, because Howard Crowhurst, if you go into Megalithomania and watch Howard Crowhurst videos, all these sites line up over great distances, you know. They had amazing skills in geography and astronomy, and, you know, so, in regards to Syngenta or Zenica ICI, so this photograph that we're looking at now, this is when the Yorkshire Show was there in 1904. It's just by Leeds Road where the river is, and this is before the ICI got all built up. And the idea behind this show, it started, they came up with the idea, some military guy came up with the idea for it in York, in a meeting in a pub, and they were going to have them all around Yorkshire, these shows. And it was meant to be created to promote agriculture, right? And farming and growing things, which is, you know, conservation in a way, growing things, not chemicals and urban smoggy areas. And we actually had this show a few years after that Victoria Tower was built on Castle Hill, right? And then it's supposed to be meant to be symbolising agriculture, and look at it there. And then what happened is they ended up expanding, urbanising, and just building everywhere. And that's when the ICI kind of sprung up, and it didn't go into agriculture for our area at all. It went mega industrial and chemical, which is not good. So this is the title that you've got up at the top of the page at the moment, outside Syngenta. That's the Leeds Road entrance. So, I mean, there's at least 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 people there. So, I mean, I went to a meeting online, and it's the meeting that Andrew Cooper took place in, and it was a Green Movement meeting, right? And there were lots of people in that meeting talking about what is your vision for the future of Huddersfield, and it was all mainly Green Party supporters. And I know that we don't have that many Green Party councillors or even voters, but we have some. I mean, I think at least a couple of areas of Huddersfield are Green Party areas. Now, in that meeting, they were definitely talking about, people who participated in that meeting were all giving accounts of visions of green like, you know, greenways being created and rewilding and you know, restoration of green areas and countryside for Huddersfield, right? So I was just sat participating in this meeting, and this is what all the people were saying that would like, you know, conservation and some sort of restorative aspects of Huddersfield, because from Aspley going out on that road, you know, from Aspley towards Penistone on there, it's all hills and tiers of greenery and forests. It's almost like an enchanted elven kingdom out of Lord of the Rings going out that way, if you can imagine it. And I think it used to be. I think it was. Now, we do have a lot of differences between them, some people in these groups, and I don't always see eye to eye with Andrew on everything, but on that, I mean, I did agree with him. There was a few things that I was upset about, like the development of that university student building, which they pulled down some old buildings on the corner, which I was upset about, because I think that the new student building could have used that and kept some of the original older buildings. That was one thing that upset me on the corner of Devonshire Road, you know, opposite Lidl. They could have incorporated the original buildings into the student buildings, but they didn't. They ripped it down and built a square one, which I was upset about that, right? But, you know, this vision that the Green Party people and members and movement were talking about, you know, I was like, you know, well, you know, I thought it was the right idea. I didn't oppose it, you know, but it didn't occur to me, right, until now, that when I've done my investigations about ancient sites, and when I found out that, you know, Zenica and ICI, that river and that field that I've just shown you, that entrance opposite Dalton Bank, it's an ancient riverway, right? And it is the entrance to the river, right, from where that Warrior's Tomb Hill Fort is, and it's right next to the river. It's not even far from the river from there, right? And it's literally like when you go to Newgrange on the Bruna Boyne, there's three, within the same area, there are three massive ancient Irish sites, World Heritage Sites. There is Knowth, Dowth and Newgrange, and they're both by the river. They're a little bit closer to the river than that Warrior's Tomb is, but that Warrior's Tomb isn't that much further away, right? And they knew, I think that's why they had that Yorkshire Show there, because they knew about that, and everyone knew it was a Warrior's Tomb, right? And it clearly would be significant and obvious when there's Castle Hill near it, because the ancients had hill forts near each other. Like, they've got Worthing, they've got Sisbury Ring and Shanktonbury Ring, both within 3.5 kilometres. And then at Warminster, they've got Scratchbury, Middle Hill, and Battlesbury hill forts. 3 hill forts. I think that in Meltham, that Dunelm one is as well, because I think they're 2 big long barrows in a hill fort. And I think that in Ireland, next to the Bruna Boyne, which is in exact the same latitude as us across, right? It's the exact same latitude, and it's got a river that goes to the ocean, just like the Calder and Humber goes to the ocean, but not quite as far. But it's literally like, it's copying it across over in position. I think that those 3 sites in Ireland, right, are female round with an entrance at the front that you enter them, and one of them has got loads of baby mums around it, right? And I think that here at Huddersfield, next to a main river that goes to the ocean at the same latitude as Ireland, I think our long barrow sites are 3, not as grouped close together like the female sites, but male ones more spaced out, and they're 2 or 3 long barrow shaped sites, because they're elongated, which is like Brigantes, Brighouse, Agbrig, Bridget. They got Bridget, which means elongation, basically, right? And for a male elongation, you don't enter the male aspect, do you? The male aspect's rubbed on or gone on top of, right? That's why I think Dunelm and Castle Hill are the big long barrows, but not some long barrows, smaller ones you can go inside them, but also some of the like in Anglesey, they've got a couple of round circular mounds that have got like a male-shaped standing stone inside the mound. There's a bit of crossover sometimes between male and female, but I think that our sites at Huddersfield are as very similar to the Bruna Boyne sites. And I think that it's just that it doesn't look like there's much left of them now because if the things were on top of them and made in wood, or they might have got destroyed, or the stones moved, or whatever. And it's just we don't think they're as mystical or magical as the Bruna Boyne ones because you actually go inside them and there's all the engravings there and everything like that. But if you put everything back as it was in the day in wood, then it would have been amazing. But it's more the Pennine Ridge behind it as well. And the river starts in the Pennines and then slowly the water gathers together and forms and creates the river and then goes straight past all those sites and then goes straight out to the sea, which you can go all the way around the coast to all the smaller long barrows. I really think that those large long barrows along this river, I think they're significant to all the smaller long barrows around the coast. Now, that's the heritage part of it that I think, and that Warrior's Tomb mound, which now you can't even get on it, it's private houses put on there. Those houses got put on there apparently around 1960, before Kirklees Council was even formed, apparently, right? And, like, the site where Syngenta is important because that's where that hill fort, you would have accessed the river and got onto the river, just where at Bruna Boyne by Newgrange you would have gone to the river there. So it's actually the junction of a river and an ancient site, and it's quite that Humber in England is a major river, that, you know, because the Thames in London was flooded either side by water in prehistoric times going really far back. That's why it's not really got that much prehistory until Londinium and that. It's not got as much history as maybe our area or other parts because it was mainly what they didn't create patents to do land drainage until the 1700s. Before the 1700s, there was a lot more water around. Now, from the group, right, it's clear that the Extinction Rebellion group are opposed to Syngenta and chemical factories, right? Now, I'm opposed to that chemical factory being there because it's an ancient heritage site and I don't think it should ever have been put there. When they had the agricultural Yorkshire show, everything was going all right and it promises agriculture and the next thing, it all gets smog and chemicals on there. So we've got something in common at least. This group and these activists locally are opposed to Syngenta. I'm opposed to Syngenta because they've dumped it on as ancient site area and I think it should be natural and be a World Heritage Site and Greenway, right? And at least Andrew Cooper does like and believe in greenways and rewilding because he's talked about it in groups. So we've got to have something in common at least there, right? Now, also, now in the old maps, it's called Upper Helm. Now, Upper Helm is like Helm's in Meltham next to Dunelm, next to Meltham Cop, which is the site I'm talking about, the Longbarrow ship site. And there were loads of kind of sort of allotments along the side of it, I think. And this is Liberty shaped anyway. And so Upper Helm, being at near Syngenta, Dalton, says Upper Helm. And this top of the hill, what was called the Warrior's Tomb. And that's what Dun Helm is called. So there's an instant connection between this and the one at Meltham as well, not just only Castle Hill. So it's significant. And it's not that long ago when I'll show you the photos and look at it now. It's actually got built on, and that was before Kirklees Council got formed on the 1st of April of all dates you could have it formed on, the 1st of April in 1974. This got banged on in the 1960s, so from 1904 to 1960s, when Varley was messing around Castle Hill, and I don't know what Varley was playing at. It clearly is the same shape and direction as Ullosford Fort. It's hill fort shaped. I've been to hill forts all around England. If I knew anything that was an hill fort that you would have something on top of, right? Oh, there just happens to be a massive ancient tribe that was in West Yorkshire, according to the Romans, in Elmet area, in Abrig. Oh, was there? Where might that be? Well, they claimed it were at Burybridge area, but there's a couple of little earthworks, but not fancy. Oh, well, that's interesting. Not bad. Massive area, was it? It just happens that we've got one massive hill fort there. Oh, what's that? A massive mound, 2 massive mounds. And then, there's one at Dunelm as well, on it. It's called Up Helm. And that's called Helmet. Dunelm. Oh, wow, and the same name, and 3 sites all along the river as well. Well, blow me down. I don't believe it. And what happened? Somebody's ended up banging houses on it. And visual access has been slowly removed and obstructed, particularly even from Upper Upton, when you could even see Castle Hill. You can't even stop in the lay-by or turn round now, because they closed the pub down, bricked up all one side, even the people who bought the flats there can't even look out the window that side hardly, and then block the car park off so you can't even turn round there. If they ain't blocking visual access, then I don't know what is, and that's one of the best views of Castle Hill. Talk about removing visual access. And then you can't even go on here because now it's all privately owned houses, even though this is potentially a critically important national heritage site, with forests and trees around it, which could have been a major serious greenway and heritage area down to the river, where they might have even been getting on the boats on and off, and this might have even been surrounded in water. It might have been an island hill fort that had water around it, according to prehistoric maps. I mean, look at this visual access. Visual access is denied. I mean, they've been showing us on Megalithomania. He's been over to the Maya, the pyramids in South America, and they've been building houses and things around some of those ancient brick sites. But they haven't done it at Maiden Castle. They haven't done it at Sisbury Ring. And to be honest, in South America, they haven't built directly on top of them, put the houses on top of them, actually. Or sort of done it in a way so you can't see them, like too high up. So look, this is the aerial photograph of that Warrior's Tomb place, going towards, to the left is towards Dalton Bank. You just can't see the river quite. It's a little bit further away, the river, I think. There's a road. Look at it, all fields. It's all fields. And that ain't even that long ago. Look at how many houses there are still when they built that tramway out there. And straight away, as soon as they built that tramway out there, they blocked off the view from near the tram station of that mound with a cinema. That was the first mistake. Why would you do that? At this stage, right, this here is equal to Maiden Castle and Old Oswestry. Right, there's Huddersfield. It's not even in town centre. Why did they start banging houses up around it when they could have put them on top of the hill, even above it, looking down, and left it countryside in the middle of the valley? I just don't get it. And now with the urban development, it's almost like Huddersfield is literally. I think Huddersfield it's 90 years in development and spread ahead of Dorchester and Oswestry. You can just see that mound in the background there, if this is really his Waterloo. Got this from Huddersfield Then and Now site. It says it is. That might be from the other side. There were still some sort of houses up and around, but I think most of it is trees. That's looking towards where McDonald's is now. So if you would have looked to the left of this photograph, you would have seen it. And then that's not that long after the tram station got built. And then look, you can't see, it's visual access denied already. Cinema, Want there a cinema in town or what? Right, put a cinema in Fartown and then cinema at Marsh. And one at Lockwood. So, but I think that, from that meeting that I went to, right, from what all the members of the Green Party were saying and the people who were in, environment, right, they were saying they wanted to have green corridors and rewilding in Huddersfield, right? Not everyone in Huddersfield does, because a lot of people are like proud of the mills and all this and the granddad, but there ain't that many granddads ago. It's about 2 people ago, right? So the entire ancestral history of how they got to be here now, today, is not dependent on solely 2 people in the existence of the planet. It's a lot more. It's like the entire history of their, hundreds of thousands of years of their ancestors. So, a couple of factories, and the town council. The thing is, town centre aren't even that bothered about buildings. They're knocking buildings down in town centre like Billier. So I don't think town centre are even that bothered about buildings, to be honest. So the thing is, right? I am Claire and the Eccentric Rebellion group to even put that banner on to put that picture on the top of the group are opposed to Syngenta chemicals. Now, I'm opposed to Syngenta chemicals, right? Andrew Cooper's wanting to do green corridors and rewilding. I want to do, that's what I'm interested in now, rewilding and green corridors and ecology, conservation, but because we've got really important ancient sites and heritage in the area, which I think is World Heritage Site significance, which has been ignored and denied. So from this hill fort here, and Castle Hill, which is included in it as well, because it's part of the old Brigantes complex, right? From here to the river where Syngenta is, right? That's the Extinction Rebellion group who are opposed to Syngenta. I'm opposed to Syngenta being there, chemical factory because it's heritage site, and Extinction Rebellion like countryside. Andrew Cooper, the Green Party councillor, wants to do rewilding and some sort of green corridors in Huddersfield and create some nature areas. So it would seem to me that we seem to be able to, there seems to be something to work with here that is in all our interests in this group. It's in Claire Walter's interest and the protesters' interest and the main people in the group's interest, because they're opposed to Syngenta. It's in Andrew's interests and all the people who went to the Green Party meetings because they want to do rewilding and green corridors. And it's in my interest because I want to restore the heritage and get some, heritage recognition for our area and group our ancient sites into one area between Castle Hill and here and Meltham. And I want to get an area of outstanding natural beauty order to protect it all long term and a certain amount of rewilding as well. So to me, it seems that we've got common interests. Andrew Cooper's got common interests with Claire Walters and the rest of the group. Surely we've got common interest. There are aspects there where we're in agreement over it, over Syngenta being chemical dump and poisonous. And, clearly if you're opposed to Syngenta, then, you want to, you would be supporting removing it. And if you wanted to create green corridors and nature, then you would be interested in restoring nature, at least around somewhere what we've got that's an ancient site and important to history and where people from the rest of the country would like to come and enjoy it and see it as well. So we seem to be able to, we've got common ground for interests, Now the thing is I want to get the signatures in. Between 4 different petitions, and all those 4 petitions might not be in complete agreement, but they're at least in opposition to the Tandy's cafe hotel thing. At least all 4 petitions at least are opposing that, So that's got to be something towards historic England, And the fact is now with all those petitions, there are over 5,000 signatures, which is nearly equaling. It's a third of the way now, that's 1 out of 3 is a substantial amount. It's not half, but 1 out of 3 is better than a quarter of the way. 1/3 of the way, is getting towards half the way, and half the way is half a climb, So over 5,000 signatures now, yet the Huddersfield Examiner is saying that, we're losing steam. Bernard's petition's losing steam when it's had loads of signatures in the last 2 weeks. It's losing steam. Rubbish. So, I don't know whether it's enough just to petition Historic England or not, and I don't know how many signatures Historic England needs, whether Tandy Brothers are even going to apply to them or not. We don't know. And that Council of British Archaeology, Tony Hunt, he helped. They told me at first that they can't take a side. He said to me, like, we can't take a side on this or that. Yeah, then I found out they've been helping also Streelfort and putting objections into the council against planning. I goes, hey Tony, whoa, what are you doing? He said that he can't be seen to be taking sides too much on Castle Hill and that. And then I asked you, found out that you've just put an opposition in, clearly taking a side against the building on Old Oxford Streelfort and helping him out in a big way. And then when I mentioned Castle Hill again, you go, just a minute, let me check with my colleagues. And then it turns out that goes, no, we didn't know they were going on Castle Hill. And I'm like, well, whose side are you on here? You know? Are the Council of British Archaeology going to put an objection in against the Tandy Brothers to English, Natural England or what? He said he was going to put it on his website and he gets like 1 million views or something. I've put it on the Megalithic Portal website. He says that it might get 1 million views in 6 months. And I've asked the Megalithomania guy to put it in his email list as well. But I want to get the signatures in, I want to get the signatures on there. I want to get the 15,000 signatures. And, by myself, you've got messenger limitations every day. And if you just leave it in a group, right, people don't sign it if you just put it there and leave it. If you ask them, they sign. If there's someone in a random Facebook thread, if they've just replied to you, and if you actually say, hi, Sally, or whatever, please would you sign my petition and put it to them, right? And I'm almost guaranteed that they will sign it and say, yes, no problem. And then you put a nice thank you there, put the link, then you click it, sign it, done, right? Now, the thing is, right, if you start asking people like that personally, then you start getting signatures in, and you can tag. If you go to the group members list, if you start going on to countryside groups, ancient site groups, things like that, you go to the members list, click on the members list, and then it says messenger. You can messenger 10, 20 people, or 50 maybe, without getting your account restricted a day. And you can put one reply to the group and copy and paste 50 people from that members list a day and tag 50 and put the link and say, please will you sign? When you start doing that, then you start getting ching, 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 like, 20, 50, 100 signatures every couple of days. And that's just one person doing it, me. Then, if, like, in that photograph, hold on. If, like, all these people in this photograph, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 people, right? If there's 7 people there, if those 7 people were to just go into, other Extinction Rebellion groups or, that Extinction Rebellion Rewilding group and go onto the members list, and each of those person messaged 50 people with the link and said, please can you sign? And then went into, like, in ancient sites or countryside group, and then just put a post or even reply to somebody else's post and then copy and paste, 50 people from that group and just tag them and put the link there and say, please will you sign? Then that's 50 you're asking. So, 1, 2, 3, that's 500 people from just that group we're looking at who are outside Syngenta, right? And then from that, you get quite a lot of signatures. Then you're racking up. I know when Bernard did his petition, he just left it and he didn't do all. We just expected everyone else to do it. Like, I don't know if Andrew Cooper is that savvy or not, because when Andrew Cooper was running for councillor, right, and the council last time, 2 days before for the mayor, West Yorkshire mayor, what the Labour Party did is they used very, very targeted strategic YouTube adverts funded by the Labour Party, and 2 days before the mayor elections, they dropped it on YouTube ads. Bam! They tagged selected area for advert West Yorkshire, full maximum capacity, right, of expenditure that you could pay, and you could not watch a YouTube video 2 days before the West Yorkshire mayor elections without having Tracy Brabin's face pop up on your mobile phone saying, "I've always been driven," right? She'd literally got it in the bag. Now, if that ain't buying the position of West Yorkshire mayor, I don't know what is, right? Why wasn't the Green Party, like Cyan Thingamajig or whatever she's called, sending Andrew Cooper some funding, right? And why weren't they working at Green Party headquarters strategically to work out, Andrew Cooper, a strategic YouTube advert to drop on YouTube for West Yorkshire 2 days before the West Yorkshire mayor election, running for 2 days? Then Andrew Cooper might have been guaranteed to get the West Yorkshire mayor. And then we could have got some serious rewilding and green avenues and restoration of heritage sites in West Yorkshire. If Andrew Cooper had got into the mayor, where's the funding for it? That's the thing, you know. What are the Green Party doing? We've got all these green charities on Facebook collecting donations from people and doing petitions. What is that donation money being used for? We don't really hardly have that many like Liberal Democrats and people like that. They've got representatives who don't even really know them that well or what they're doing. You know, there are a few of us who have got common interests now in like opposing Syngenta and chemical factories and wanting green avenues and rewilding in Huddersfield. And we need to get some, do a little, like, I can't get the signatures by myself. Andrew clearly wants to get people to sign his petition. Andrew wants people to sign his petition, or he wouldn't have started it. Whether or not it's to Kirklees Council or not to get the 15,688, or whether it's to Historic England. I'm not bothered as long as we get signatures in, you know. And I think Andrew Cooper needs to speak to Tony Hunt at Council for British Archaeology and ask why they've been helping other hospitals, but they haven't been helping us, and they're submitting loads of evidence and things like that, you know. We need Andrew Cooper has got an entire constituency that vote for him in the Green Party, and he's got an entire party that's supposed to be backing him up. The Green Party, the Green Party's got an emailing list. The Green Party, right? I've got an emailing list, right? The Green Party, right? I've got Green Party, right? The Green Party, Andrew, right? Andrew, I'm not joking now, right? The Green Party headquarters have got the entire list of Green Party members, right? At Green Party headquarters, right? Emailing lists, right? And whatever it costs in hosting plan to send out whatever 100,000 emails, right? I've just asked Megalithomania if he'll put my petition in his newsletter that he sends out in emails, right? He said, yeah, I'll do it. Send me the link and some photos. He's going to send it out to all his whatever 135,000 Megalithomania subscribers, Andrew. And Andy at Megalithic Portal, Andrew, he said that he's put it in his email as well. And he's put it, I paid 50 quid to have it on his website, right? That was 50, but he said he'd put it in his email newsletter for free. Andrew, the Green Party, you've got a newsletter that goes out. Now, if they want some money for it, I'll give them the money, Andrew. But when you're just throwing on to change.org, it's going down the tube. Because 50 quid or 100 quid on change.org supposedly gets 10,000 views, right? It's not to the right audience. The type of audience on change.org is, I just know the type of people who go on there randomly. It's mainly people who are interested in not heritage or countryside. It's more like, it's more foreign aid. Generally, that website it's more foreign aid. 38 Degrees is probably more charities and stuff like that, and a little bit more countryside. Andrew, right? You got 500 signatures, right? If we get 15,000, well, it's something because it's equivalent to 5% of the electorate, so it counts for summer, right? If you're doing it to, if you're doing it to the trust, right, to Historic England, it's not much to also, you might as well add the email address of Kirklees Council as well as Historic England, just so it's on there, because mine's got all of them on there, right? Because you might as well just have, you can put multiple people on there on the emailing list, so why wouldn't you, right? Andrew, right, if you are a Green Party councillor, right, you should have access to the Green Party headquarters support. They should be able to support you in certain projects, because that's the whole point of being a councillor for the party. If I'm voting for Green Party councillor in my area and Green Party headquarters, right, and I'm voting for Green Party, and the Green Party headquarters ain't going to back up something for my local project, which is why I want to vote Green Party, then what's the point in voting for Green Party, right? If that petition, right, is not going out in the Green Party emailing list, right, to 100,000 Green Party members around England and asking them to sign, right, to protect our Ilford, right, Andrew, then I'm not voting for Green Party. I'm not going to vote for them, Andrew. If that petition that you signed does not go out on that Green Party emailing list to 100,000 Green Party members by the end of this month, I am not voting for the Green Party, Andrew, right? So please tell the Green Party headquarters to put that petition in the newsletter, in the Green Party newsletter that goes out to all the Green Party members, please. And if they want some money for server costs for sending 100,000 emails, then I'd rather give it to them than send it into change.org, right? But don't say that we can't get 15,000 signatures on there, because getting 15,000 signatures on that petition from the Green Party is literally like walking out of the door and going for a walk down to the park with your dog and coming back with an ice cream, right? Literally, it's like literally going out and, doing gardening for 10 minutes and picking some flowers. 15,000 signatures is nothing to the Green Party. They collect 15,000 signatures for breakfast. So I'm not going to vote for Green Party. I won't vote for them unless that petition is going out in the Green Party newsletter, and then I want to hear the Huddersfield Examiner telling us that we've run out of steam, right? And then Mine Shaw can post what he wants around Huddersfield Hub. I don't care if Huddersfield then and now sign it or not. 20,000 members, they can stick the signatures where they want for all I care. We want some Green Party support, because it's a green project. Rewilding and green corridors in Huddersfield and opposing chemical factory is a green project. So if it ain't going to go out in that Green Party newsletter, that petition, you being a Green Party councillor, then there's no point voting for Green Party. Might as well just vote Tory. Because when it's Tracy Brabin, right, the Labour are backing her up fully. They're backing her up and they're dropping West Yorkshire on YouTube. They're dropping the full capacity that you can put on adverts, the full maximum. They're loading up YouTube adverts to the max for 2 full days before the West Yorkshire Mayor elections, right? That's what Labour Party headquarters are doing. So what are Green Party headquarters doing? And it won't even cost. They don't even need to do a YouTube advert. We're talking about the existing email lists of people. Andrew. And Claire as well. Claire, right? Claire, right? What is the point standing outside Syngenta, right? When the Green Party have got 100,000, in excess, hundreds hundreds of thousands of members on the regular Green Party email list. Now, if opposing Syngenta in Huddersfield and rewilding Huddersfield while protecting the heritage sites in Huddersfield as one combined project does not merit sufficient enough to go on the Green Party emailing list, then I don't know what does. What is more green than that? With the heritage sites, with the green corridors, with the rewilding, and getting rid of a chemical factory all in one go. What is Sian doing all day? What are Green Party headquarters doing? Seriously. I'm going to complain to them. I'm sending this video in now. I'm going to send this video into Green Party. Because if one of their own councillors' petitions is not going out in their own Green Party newsletter, right, then I am not going to vote for Green Party. Seriously. Because they're not helping us, they're not backing us up.